right now. Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We've got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call, powered by FanDuel Sportsbook.
Steelers lose one of their captains to retirement. Another captain's future still in doubt. And could there be a family reunion in Pittsburgh? Let's start the speculation. We'll talk about all of it right now on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call, powered by FanDuel Sportsbook. Good evening, everybody. I'm Josh Taylor. Good to talk to you on a Friday night. And joining me to help talk about all the news of the day, we got quite a bit to talk about. Andrew Fillipponi, 93.7 The Fan. Pony, I was hoping to talk to you about it this afternoon, but some things kind of went the wrong way. But Maurkice Pouncey retires after 11 seasons with the Steelers, 9-time Pro Bowler, 2-time first-time All-Pro. Obviously, it's a big loss. He's also one of their offensive captains. I'll ask this question. We got a reaction earlier today from Ben Roethlisberger with our Steelers insider, Jerry Dulac. I got to ask you this. Losing Maurkice Pouncey, we know it's a big blow to the offensive line. How does this affect the decision-making at this point with Ben Roethlisberger? It looks like this team is not going to look the same next year.
Well, I'm as close as I've ever been, Josh, to the idea that Ben Roethlisberger, despite what he has said repeatedly over the last few years, I'm starting to think there's actually a chance he plays for another team next year. He's on the record as saying he wants to keep playing football. We know that. But you've got Pouncey out of the mix. I think it's highly unlikely Juju Smith-Schuster's back. Al Villanueva will likely play for another team in 2021. Randy Fichtner is done as Steelers offensive coordinator. So, where does that leave Ben Roethlisberger? And, the Steelers are pretty much, they've made their situation very clear. They don't want to give Ben more money. So if he's locked in to $19 million, that's his take-home pay. Would he want, like we saw with J.J. Watt today, Josh, would he want to mutually agree to part company so it's not released? It's not like he has the indignity of getting cut. It's, hey, we're going to go in different directions here. And that would allow for the Steelers to move on. Mason Rudolph, Dwayne Haskins, quarterback in 2021. And, Ben Roethlisberger latch on with another team because he says he wants to win Super Bowls. That's his number one objective. And based on the Steelers' cap situation and the guys they're losing, I just don't see a situation where he can come back here next year and legitimately compete for a Super Bowl.
You say mutually parting ways, and I think about that scenario with the quarterback, and my mind comes back to Peyton Manning in Indianapolis, just that tearful divorce kind of situation where they were talking to the media afterwards. They met and decided to part ways. I keep seeing that scenario in my mind. It just feels likely that way. But you mentioned J.J. Watt, so let's jump over to that. Ed Werder from ESPN reporting Steelers are one of a dozen teams that are interested in J.J. Watt, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, 5-time Pro Bowler, 5-time All-Pro. I got to ask you, Pony, is there a way you see this working in Pittsburgh?
Well, yeah, because you feel like you can get him because of the sentimental factor, because he's got TJ and Derek already here, and here's a lifetime opportunity. He's made over $100 million to play with his two brothers, which is something, not a lot of you dream of growing up, but very few people are able to do that. Look, if you can get J.J. Watt for the veteran minimum, you find a way to make that work. Whether you've got Stephon Tuitt and Cameron Hayward, it doesn't matter. If one of the greatest defensive players of all time wants to suit up for you, you find a way to make that work. It's obviously not something the Steelers need. It's not like they're dying for another defensive lineman or a defensive end. But if that guy seeks you out, if he wants to play for you, you obviously you find a way to make that work. So that's how I see it. If they didn't have TJ Watt and Derek Watt, I don't think that JJ Watt and the Steelers would make much sense. But you've got a unique situation, and you've got a situation where maybe he's willing to take way less than market value because he likes the idea of playing with his two siblings.
Well, you heard what Pony has to say about it. We want to hear from you, 412-575-2600. That is the number on the Borders and Borders hotline. Also, shoot me a tweet at Josh Taylor HD. We'll talk there, too. See you in a few minutes.